digital trust, I brought even my notes digitally. I hope you'll forgive me if I take a look every now and then. So my name's Armin Hendrich. I'm a partner at DLA Piper, and I'm a lawyer in one of the world's largest business law firms. Now, lawyer and trust, yeah, some will say, like, what the hell, you know, those guys, probably the most paranoid breed on this planet, and talking about trust, that's kind of weird. Anybody else with some legal background here, like a lawyer or affinity to law? Show of hands. Yeah, one. Thank you. Thank you. Great, fantastic. Sort of the outcome that I thought it would be. So I would like to give you a different perspective. You know, when we talk about digital trust and lawyers, we introduce the zero trust model. We don't trust anyone. And how that helps you or how that can bring something to you is what I would like to focus on. So as a starting point is still really where you are, you know, your classification of fintech companies. It's, you know, are you sort of like the area of a new bank? Are you, you probably inherit trust, you know, you fall in the realm of the banks out there, for good and for bad. Maybe you're someone who's like adding on a service, not a standalone service, a new bank. You still work with known and trusted institutions, and you probably inherit a lot of that trust, or you have a completely new concept. You're a third party. You bring something to the place that's new, but is off the. You start basically from scratch. So this is really all at the bottom. You have to gain the trust, and what can you do to gain that trust? Is, well, probably the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is user experience. That's what everybody says, right? User experience. I'm not going to tell you a lot about user experience because I'm the user. I would like you to tell me about user experience. If it's great, I'll continue using it. That's fantastic. Of course, I'll do that. If it's not so great, I'll probably not do. But what does that have to do with trust? Now, let me come back to that in a second, because user experience is also, you know, I sort of like what you read my mind. And for you to be able to do that, you need to have a lot of data points on me. And the better you get, the better of experience it will be up until that point when you cross the threshold. And I'll ask myself, how do they have so much data on me? I don't feel comfortable about that. I really don't like that. I don't think I want to trust them anymore because this is just spooky. You know, this is too much. And what law brings into that is, if you think about GDPR, think of it in a different way. Don't think of it as the threat out there, the thing that I have to adhere to, but think of it as some piece of legislation that's been drafted by your users. They felt uncomfortable with something. They try to stop you, like, you know, crossing the threshold. And you better don't, because the fines are substantial. You know that. Can bring definitely a small fintech down. Talking about an additional topic is, I would like it to be convenient, you know. Convenient service, the Amazon effect, as it's called. Perfect. It's something that I want to have. I want to trust it. It's so convenient. I need to have it. It's for sure great. It's safe. It's really, the word that I'm coming to is safe, you know. For a lawyer, you immediately think about cybersecurity. I think cybersecurity, in terms of trust, is almost the mother, the foundation of trust, because going back to your user experience, if the experience is great, they want to trust you, but trust means feeling safe with you. If it's convenient, they want to trust you, but again, it's really the safety. It's probably a little bit of fooling yourself. You know, you can fool yourself with a great user experience. You can fool yourself if it's a convenient product, but ultimately they trust you if they feel safe. Safe that their information is safe, that their money is safe. And while I think David put it nicely, you're coming together here in a way that you're bringing 20 nations together. You're bringing users all over the world together. I think it's an admirable goal. It's fantastic. The truth out there is some of your, you know, players out there are not as admirable. Why would somebody not entrust data, information, money with a fintech? Read the news. It takes a week and you'll have a data breach, another cyber attack on something. So if users don't believe the data is safe with you, well, trust is gone. And again, law gives you a guideline. There is a number of laws out there, the GDPR, Payment Service Directive, that give you guidelines on what the user that drafted the law expects from you with regard to safety. It's the user also that has set, like, the boundaries of that, and that is, in other words, another regulation is the Network Information Security Directive. Okay, it's for critical infrastructure, but everybody says digital transfer, digitalization of the world is the new critical infrastructure. Your services that you're providing is the future, or now already, critical infrastructure. And if you look at that, what matters, why wouldn't somebody trust you? It's technology. A lot of your services will be cloud-based. Cloud, everybody uses the cloud, right? Everybody goes out there, Office 365, Google Docs, everybody has it, everybody uses cloud. So why not use your cloud service? It's as safe. Then another topic will be maturity of the product. Okay, trickier. Many fintechs are startups. It's new, it's exciting. I talked about the trust placed in banks. You can leverage on that. There's a lot of mistrust placed in banks. You've definitely got an opportunity there. But to sort of bring that all together, you need to do one thing that the banks have done. I've been working with banks for 10 years now. They invest a lot of money into their compliance with law. You need to ensure that what you do out there is compliant with law. If something happens, if you have a cyber breach, the reputational damage that you have may take you down. If you found out that you have not followed the law, that you have disobeyed the regulations out there, the fines and the claims of the customers will bring you down. It sounds very threatening. It's like this is also something that we lawyers love to do, and then offer, to navigate through the realm of all the regulations. But this is really something that I'd like to leave you with. It's something that another thing that I found out in this 10 years of litigation. People, when they sue you, they don't really mistrust you immediately. It's strange. It's weird, right? You would go out and say, like, this guy's been bad, I'm suing him. I'm off. I'm going to the next bank. No, I've litigated for banks for 10 years, and believe me, the vast majority of those customers that litigated against banks remains to be customers. Of course, that is if there is something left to what they're litigating against. So what I'm really saying is, if you take law as your guideline through what users expect in terms of trust, when you think about law as the guideline as to where do I go too far with my user experience, where do I need to be with regard to safety, when you think about all that and you obtain the law, even if something goes wrong, even if the user sues you and you're found out to have abided by the law, you have a very strong argument. You are creating trust. So I think from in terms of a lawyer, this is really what we can offer you. The law is a guideline to navigate you through trust. And I hope you can take something of that with you. And today, for this fantastic conference, I wish you all the best. And if you want to have a fun conversation about, the law, trust, and how lawyers deal with trust, it's as intrinsic for us as it is for you, believe me. A customer that doesn't trust me will never come back to me. And maybe we're two different worlds, but there's something that we share. And thank you for your attention. Thank you.